Hey guys, it's me, Miss Norris, and today I'd like to share a fun read aloud with you of the story Corduroy. Corduroy was written in 1968 by Don Freeman, and it tells the story of a very sweet bear who only wants to find a friend. If you're ready to hear the story, I'm ready to share it with you. Here we go. Corduroy. Now, corduroy is a special type of fabric that has little lines on it, and that's what corduroy's overalls are made of. And that's probably how he got his name. Corduroy is a bear who once lived in the toy department of a big store. Day after day, he waited with all the other animals and dolls for somebody to come along and take him home. So Corduroy used to live in a department store with other dolls and animals, and they all just wanted to go home with somebody. The store was always filled with shoppers buying all sorts of things, but no one ever seemed to want a small bear in green overalls. Then, one morning, a little girl stopped and looked straight into Corduroy's bright eyes. "Oh, Mommy," she said, "look, there's the very bear I've always wanted." "Not today, dear," her mother sighed. "I've spent too much already. Besides, he doesn't look new. He's lost the button to one of his shoulder straps." So it seemed to Corduroy that the store was always busy, but no one was ever shopping for a little bear with green overalls. Until one day, a little girl was looking for just him, just a little perfect bear. And her mother said, "Not today. And he doesn't look new. He's missing one of the buttons for his straps." Corduroy watched them sadly as they walked away. "I didn't know I'd lost a button," he said to himself. "Tonight, I'll go see if I can find it." So Lisa's still looking over her shoulder at Corduroy. Corduroy's looking back at her sadly. And now he's realized that he's missing the button to one of his overall straps. And he says he's going to go find one tonight. Late that evening, when all the shoppers had gone and the doors were shut and locked, Corduroy climbed carefully down from his shelf and began searching everywhere on the floor for his lost button. So he spent all day waiting for everything to shut down, and then he climbed down and started looking for his button. It would make sense that it would be close by on the floor, maybe. Suddenly, he felt the floor moving under him. Quite by accident, he stepped onto an escalator, and up he went. "Could this be a mountain?" he wondered. "I think I've always wanted to climb a mountain." So Corduroy got on the escalator by accident, and now he's trying to place what this might be. And in Corduroy's mind, this reminds him of a mountain. And he thinks that he's always wanted to climb a mountain. So he's doing it. He stepped off the escalator as it reached the next floor. And there, before his eyes, was the most amazing sight. Tables and chairs and lamps and sofas and rows of beds. "This must be a palace," Corduroy gasped. "I guess I've always wanted to live in a palace." So imagine if you've only ever lived on a shelf and you step off and you see all of this furniture. To Corduroy, this is a palace, and he's always wanted to live in a palace, he thinks. He wandered around admiring the furniture. "This must be a bed," he said. "I've always wanted to sleep in a bed." And up he crawled onto a large, thick mattress. All at once, he saw something small and round. "Why, here's my button," he cried, and he tried to pick it up. But like all the other buttons on the mattress, it was tied down tight. So Corduroy is discovering all kinds of new things today. And they're all things that he's maybe heard of and has wondered and dreamed about in his past. So first is a bed, and now he thinks he's found his button, but notice that the mattress is totally covered with buttons. I don't think this is Corduroy's button. He yanked and pulled with both paws until pop! Off it came, the button, and off the mattress, Corduroy toppled. Bang! Into a tall floor lamp. Over it fell with a crash. Uh-oh. So he pulled. Have you ever pulled something so hard and then when it finally did pull, it pulled you and made you fall too? That's happened to me. And that's what's happened to Corduroy. And he's knocked over the lamp and made quite a loud sound. He looks a little shaken up. Oh, that's loud. Corduroy didn't know it, but there was someone else awake in the store. The night watchman was going his rounds on the floor above. When he heard the crash, he came dashing down the escalator. "Now who in the world did that?" he exclaimed. "Somebody must be hiding around here." So Corduroy thought he was alone and free to wander, but the night watchman was there, and he was inspecting above and heard that crash. So he's saying, "Come out, I know somebody is here." He flashed his light under and over sofas and beds until he came to the biggest bed of all, and there he saw two fuzzy brown ears sticking up from under the cover. I'm going to show you that really quick. That's just precious. He's nervous. "Hello," he said. "How did you get upstairs?" So the night watchman is a friendly night watchman, and he says, how did you get here?" The watchman tucked Corduroy under his arm and carried him back down the escalator and set him on the shelf in the toy department with the other animals and dolls. That night watchman is really noticing his job and making sure things are right. But I don't know if Corduroy is very happy about that, but he sure does look tired. He's been on an adventure. Corduroy was just waking up when the first customers came into the store in the morning. And there, looking at him with a wide, warm smile, was the same little girl he'd seen only the day before. "I'm Lisa," she said, "and you're going to be my very own bear. Last night I counted what I've saved in my piggy bank, and my mother said I could bring you home." So Lisa went home and she counted the money in her piggy bank, and her mother said she had enough to come back and buy Corduroy because she saw something about him that she just loved. "Shall I put him in a box for you?" the saleslady asked. "Oh, no, thank you," Lisa answered, and she carried Corduroy home in her arms. She ran all the way up 4 flights of stairs into her family's apartment and straight for her own room. So the saleslady says, "Do you want me to put him in a box for you?" And Lisa says, "No way. I'm just going to carry him And she ran up the stairs into her apartment and straight into her room. Corduroy blinked. There was a chair and a chest of drawers, and alongside a girl-sized bed stood a little bed just the right size for him. The room was small, nothing like that enormous palace in the department store. "This must be a home," he said. "I know I've always wanted a home." Lisa sat down with Corduroy on her lap and began to sew a button on his overalls. "I like you just the way you are," she said, "but you'll be more comfortable with your shoulder strap fastened." So Corduroy knows that this isn't a palace, but it's something even better. It's a home. And he has his very own corduroy-sized bed. And even though Lisa says, I got you the way you are, and I like you for the way you are, I want you to be comfortable and be able to fasten your strap so that it doesn't fall down anymore. And that's a good friend. "You must be a friend," said Corduroy. "I've always wanted a friend." "Me too," said Lisa, and she gave him a big hug. The end. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed the story of Corduroy, his missing button, and his forever friend Lisa, please hit that thumbs up button at the bottom of the page. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for your support. It really means a lot to me. If you're not a subscriber yet, please click that subscribe button down there at the bottom of the page. And don't forget to click the bell so that you're notified when there's new content. I hope to see you all again real soon. Bye-bye.